Hello, Amber here. Today I'm going to share one of my favourite cast-on techniques with you, the long tail cast-on. I've used it in this hat, the Hari hat, and created a contrasting edge, cast-on edge for this hat. I also use the long tail cast-on for pretty much everything. It's my go-to cast-on for shawls, garments, hats. So I thought I'd share it as part of this pattern coming out and also to share my favourite cast-on, the long tail cast-on. Okay, so casting on. Firstly, you'll need to work out how much of a tail you need for your long tail cast-on and take that from the ball of yarn. So the length of the tail will depend on how many stitches you're casting on, and there's a couple of ways to work that out so that you don't run out halfway through a cast on. You can cast on a few stitches and measure those, unravel them and see how much yarn you're actually using and multiply that by the number of stitches cast on. Or you can work out approximately 3 times the length of the finished cast on. For example, a 20-inch hat multiplied by 3 would be 60 inches, so you could take 60 inches of yarn for that cast on, and then probably just add a little bit more to be safe. So to begin the cast on, start by holding your yarn with the tail end dangled over your thumb, so here's the tail end, and the ball end over your finger, and hold these in place. Next, you'll need the needle specified in the pattern. And the first stitch will be a setup stitch and the first long-tailed stitch. So the setup stitch is this, basically, pulling down and holding that there. Now for the first long-tail stitch, we bring, holding this in place, the needle up through the thumb strands and over the finger strands, and then pull that back through the thumb and release from the thumb and let that slide onto the needle. So we now have 2 stitches, a setup stitch and the first long tail cast on stitch. And then bring that yarn back over the thumb again and repeat. Needle under and through, over and through, and release. Under, over, through, release. It's very meditative and can get very speedy once you get the hang of it. So let me show you again. Under, over, through, release. What's great about this cast on is that it has a nice neat edge when you're finished, and that can be a beautiful contrast colour or just a nice finished edge on your project that you're casting on for.